our professors have made it a point to try to bring in a lot of relevant current events. So I don't think I've yet been in a class where the crisis has not been discussed or where the efficacy of free markets has not been debated. But one of the neat things that you get at UChicago and at Booth is that we have a lot of kind of luminaries that have opposite opinions. So you'll have a professor stand in front of a lecture and say, Fama thinks this, but Thaler thinks this, and it's up for you guys to decide. And I think that's really cool because we're a school that doesn't have an overarching theory or something that everyone ascribes to. From what I've gained in class is that there are a lot of competing viewpoints that are very alive and very much a part of the discussion.
Actually, I just had a conversation with my real estate professor last week because I was in the position of deciding on these offers and I was struggling to make a decision. And he offered great, kind of practical as well as industry, advice and a perspective coming from someone who's, both an academic but also has been a professional. So I found them to be really accessible. I found them to be very very approachable and also really excited to talk to students. You'll always see when you leave class, almost always there's a cluster of students around the professors, whether it's talking about an assignment or just talking about things going on in the business world, in the economy, or things in their personal pursuits. It seems like there's a constant dialogue and engagement, and I think that's a huge plus, that the professors, despite their requirement to do a certain amount of academic research, they really want to engage with students.
Actually, it's incredible how accessible a lot of the professors are. Let me give you a personal example. So I was organizing the India Business Conference a few weeks ago, and we've been planning this for 4 months. We recognized that a lot of the professors here would have incredible connections. So for instance, Raghuram Rajan or Professor Gary Becker, we invited them not only to be panelists, but to help invite other big speakers for the conference. And they were really instrumental in bringing some big keynote speakers for us. So that's one example, but in general I think professors are very accessible. For the most part, I just walk in through the door. I don't even set up appointments.
Being a career changer and switching into more of a finance focus, especially at Booth, it's been great because just the amazing faculty here who have real world experience. It's great to kind of sit in class and have them bring up examples of things that they've done in their own work that is relevant to today. And I know I can take what I'm learning and go off and use that in my internship or post-school jobs. So.
I would say that the faculty's passion for teaching comes not in the classroom as much as it comes outside the classroom and more in a mentorship capacity, because there's an obvious enthusiasm when they're up teaching a class and they have a lot of real world experience. They're doing their own research often in that area that you're studying right then and there. But I think it's the minute that you go to break or the class ends and they hang around for 20 minutes afterwards and they're being peppered with questions from students. And they invite you to then just come back with them to their office to talk more about it so that you can fully understand what's being taught to you.